What's up, everyone? My name is Dylan Walker with Yahoo Esports. I've got Loda here from Alliance. I want to ask you, your manager was telling me earlier that you got your name kind of in a weird way. You said it's embarrassing. What's the story?
Uh, yeah, okay, we have to go way, way back. When I was 13 years old, I played Warcraft 3, this amazing game. Um, but Warcraft 3 had a lot of custom maps, so one custom map was called Ring Wars. And Ring Wars was based on Lord of the Rings, and I was actually a big Lord of the Rings fan when I was younger. Still am, I would say. So, yeah, you try to look for these quite special names in the Lord of the Rings world where a lot of people don't know about it. So Loda was actually Lord of Dol Amroth, which is like, I think it's like the cousin of Borom. No, I don't know. Like,
I feel like you should know this by
I
now.
know, I was really, really into it, but I think it's like the cousin of, that city in the end. There's this white city. There's like the cousin of the guy that rules there. But I had to look very long to be very special. Like, does anyone know about this guy? Who is this? But then I stopped playing that map like a year later or something, and then Lord of the Lamroth. It's an annoying name, but then Loda I thought was quite
It's
quite
stuck.
catchy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
stuck.
Okay, so we are at TI. We're in Seattle right now. It is pretty early in the morning. It's about 11 a.m. What time is it in Europe right now?
I think it's
Sweden.
maybe 7 p.m.
Are you jet lagged at all?
Um, Actually, not so bad this time. I think that my team is like, they say they're not jet lagged, but they all go to sleep at like 9 in the evening. So I think they're a little bit jet lagged, but I'm not so much actually. I have an easier time when I go to the US rather than to the east. You go with time or back in time. It's confusing.
So you guys are actually doing really well right now. You're in the upper bracket. Who is your first round opponent?
Who knows? We're playing eHome, so it's one of the toughest teams in the tournament, I would say.
Yeah, eHome, it's the best of three. They actually won through the wild card to get there and have done really well so far. How do you approach that matchup? Do you have you don't have to tell me specifics. Do you have like a draft plan, or is there any kind of trend with like Chinese Dota and the meta that they bring out usually or currently?
I think that eHome do kind of stay true to their playstyle, and I think that you can see that kind of red line where they have this kind of meta or whatnot that they play the same way almost. I mean, they play a bit different from the other teams, and I think that's what gives them an upper hand. Um, but I think me personally, I would probably think about Ice 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 a little bit. I've been on the same team as him before, and I think he's an amazing player. He switched to carry now as well, so that's gonna be interesting for me to kind of counter pick his stuff, etc. Uh, Other than that, I mean, I think we're gonna prepare a few different things, and depending on what they decide to bring that day, we will kind of adapt to that. I feel like I'm starting to feel like reactionary Dota, like you react to their draft. If you can actually control most of the hero pool, is probably the better way to play. The problem with that is that sometimes when you focus too much, on countering every part of the draft, you might end up with the draft like whatever. We played a draft the other day against OG where we played TB last pick, but it was in a situation where he was actually not a good pick, and the whole draft was just garbage because we played around a super late game carry, but we couldn't play around him. That's just one of those things. Like, you need to kind of find the middle ground of analyzing your opponent and staying true to your own playstyle.
So what do you think about OG right now? They seem to be doing really well. They won 2 majors this year. Yeah, what is your insight to that team currently?
I think they're great. I think they're a super strong team. Like, obviously they won a lot. I think that for some reason, and they're obviously gonna be mad if they see this, but for some reason I don't think they will win the event. I don't know why. I think that if we don't win, it might be a Chinese team. I just have that feeling. But then again, Dota kind of goes in circles. Like, first year was a Western team, then it was a Chinese team, Western team, Chinese team, Western team. And if that system kind of works out, it's going to be a Chinese team this year. But I think OG is they could could change that for sure. I think they're one of the scariest teams. For us personally, I think we have the biggest issue with them, and if we don't have to play them at all, somebody else kicks them out, I think we actually have a good shot at winning the tournament. But I think we would have a small issue playing them in maybe winner brackets finals or something. But if we just get at least one more series against them, and let's say we can fight our way through the loser bracket, then I think we have a good chance. But we do need some more games against them to feel comfortable.
Absolutely. So you guys don't have a team house, right? You live on your own, but you play with each other.
Like, we don't have a team house where everyone lives. We have an office where we go to boot camp, but it's a bit smaller since we don't live together. We used to have a really big house, but then we were tired of each other. Nah, but people got like some dogs and etc. So, yeah. So we have the office where we can go as a base. It's in Gothenburg, my hometown. But for this event, we also rented a big house to just stay and live together and boot camp.
Very cool. So who would you say like is your primary practice partner in Europe?
Well, it depends, right? I think we tend to play a lot against the CIS teams. So it's been a lot of Empire, Vega, etc. But those teams haven't been here. We boot camped in Europe while a lot of teams went to America to boot camp this year. So our primary practice partner was for sure Escape. Uh, and I mean that is both good and bad, I guess. I think that honestly I don't think they were so much worse than the other teams. Honestly, I think they could beat every single team in the loser bracket, and I was surprised by their lackluster, showing. But yeah, for sure they've been our practice partner. I would have liked to have a bit more teams in Europe when we boot camped, but you have to use it to upper advantage, right? Because we don't get to practice against a lot of teams, but at the same time they don't get to practice against us. So we have some stuff that we can, save and show. And I mean, we did some Roche level 1 strat against Navi over there, and then there's some fun stuff you can do with it. You just have to, deal with the situation you're in, pretty much.
All right. Well, I want to say thank you for talking to me. It's been awesome meeting you and learning more about you and your team. For everybody else, this is Yahoo Esports.